my fellow crafters, and welcome back to Inspiration for Cards. My name is David and today I'm going to be making a card for you. Now, the other day I was playing around in my art journal and I was making a page using different kinds of texture pastes. I will show you. That was this page. And I was using the normal texture paste and I was using the glossy texture paste. Now in the past I've worked with the normal texture paste from Distress, putting on top some embossing powders, and that works like a charm. And then while I was doing this, I got this idea like, okay, but what happens if I do that on transparent gloss? So that's what I'm going to be doing now. So I'm going to take it one step further. We're going to put embossing powders onto transparent gloss. I'm going to use a lot of different products, but I will link everything below in the description box. These are affiliate links. So if you would like to buy something that you see today, it would be much appreciated if you use those. And while I'm at it, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and consider to subscribe to my channel. That would be even better for my day. Right, back to the card. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be using the Gina K Master Layouts 1, which is a beautiful size. It takes all the measuring out of it because I'm not good at measuring, so I love these master layouts. I've got a black matte layer already done, and I'm going to use this to cut the top layer to size. We're going to be stamping with VersaMark, VersaFine with VersaMark embossing ink, because I'm going to be making two butterflies. Those are going to be on the cards, and these are two beautiful detailed butterflies, and they actually come from a planner set, a set where you can make little tags for your planner, and that's the Planner Essentials 42, but these have the beautiful butterflies in there. So that's what I used to cut out these beautiful detailed butterflies. I'm going to come to those a bit later because I'm going to emboss them as well. I'm going to use this to make some backgrounds because I've done a test piece and it was a bit boring. So I'm going to add something to it. And I'm going to do that on this paper, which is the Distress watercolor cardstock, because it's nice and sturdy. So that's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to be working on the smooth side of that. So, oh yeah. And important, I'm going to use a stencil to put the transparent gloss through. Right, I'm going to put this to the side for a minute because we don't need that yet. And I'm going to start doing some stamping on the background. And I want to try this one. Let's see how it comes out. But I might use several. And I'm going to be stamping using my archival. And that's just because if I stamp using the Distress ink, that's water reactive. If I put the paste over it, it will respond. And especially with these finer scripts, that's not perfect. So and these Elizabeth Craft Design stamps, they work like a charm. And they're so detailed, and even then it's still readable. Yeah, I like them. Right, ink that up. I'm gonna put that on here and press. And I might do a second generation stamp because, well, why not? That's a bit, you can hardly see it, but it's there. And that's the idea. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm inking this up again. This hickory smoke is beautiful. It's just that the background has some texture, and it's fun because the gloss is transparent and the Distress embossing glazes are transparent as well, so that's quite nice. And then I'm going to take this one, I think. Ink it up again. I'm going to put that in this corner. that over here. And this just gives the background some dimension. Now this needs to dry, so I'm going to get my heat tool out and quickly heat set this. Okay, now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to take my Make Art Station. Do it the other way around. There we go. Is it just me? If there's text on there, I want to be able to read it. And if it's on top, then it's wrong for me. That's just me. Okay, then I'm going to be using this stencil, and as you can see, it's well loved, but it's clean. I will put that on here and put that. There we go. Stamp the magnets on. And then I'm going to take my transparent gloss. And just put that on there. Not perfect, by all means. Scrape it through. Scrape, press, scrape, press, scrape, press. And I don't want it to be the whole thing. So I'm just going to do part of the top. And then I have to move quickly because I don't want this to dry. And this stuff takes a second to dry, but not that slow. So it dries quite quickly. So before I clean off everything, I will do something else. Take off the magnets. Peel up the stencil. Put this to the side. I will clean that in a second. And then I will get my embossing powders out, open them up. And then what I'll do, I'll just pinch some between my fingers and randomly put that over the paste. And now, next I'm going to take another color, that's Salvaged Patina. And I'm going to put that on the other exposed areas. Now where the pink is, the Salvaged Patina will not adhere. So I don't have to be too concerned about how I put it on, because it will not mix, because that's where the other powder already is. And the leftovers of this, that's not going to be a party mix or anything. That's just going in the bin, because that's not a pretty side. It will be a bit muddy. So yeah, you waste some embossing powders, but not much. But I just love this technique. It gives the embossing powder beautiful shine. But yeah, I'm curious to see, because the paste is transparent, and that was the whole idea. The paste is transparent. The embossing glazes from Tim Holtz are transparent. So that should mean that everything that is underneath should show through. That was the whole experiment part of this. So I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna tap it underneath. And this way the embossing powder dances on the paper and will make sure it gets everywhere it wants to stick. And then I just tap it off. And that's the beginning of our background. I'm going to put this to the side because this needs to dry. I'm going to quickly clean up my mess and then I will be back. Okay, while this is drying, I'm going to continue with the next step, and that is I'm going to emboss these butterflies. That's going to be quite plain and simple. I'm going to cover them in VersaMark and cover them with embossing powder. Simple as that. Now the color I'm using is, bear with me, antique linen, because I want these to be very soft and delicate on top of that quite bold background. However, since these are transparent, I will emboss them twice, just to give them that extra oomph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them right here, tap off the excess and emboss it. And while it's still hot, I'm going to put it in the embossing powder again. And repeat. And here is that second one. Beautifully embossed. Love it. Okay, so I've cleaned up my mess. I've got two beautiful embossed butterflies. I love that fossilized amber color. Very subtle, but still, yeah, love it. Love it. Okay, now on to my background. So I've embossed my two butterflies. They're going to be on there. But now I'm going to heat emboss the powder that is on the glossy paste. Now it's not completely dry yet, but I will start melting it anyway, because it will dry. Okay, here we have it. Beautiful background, and it's slightly transparent, so you can see a bit of, I don't know if it picks it up on camera, but you can see part of the text prints coming through. So yeah, that's pretty. I like that. Okay, while this is cooling down, let me start by stamping the sentiment. That's going to be quite subtle and small. I've got some leftover paper here, so might as well use that up, because why waste it? It's also the Tim Holtz paper that I've cut out the butterflies out. And what I'm going to do is have a magical day. So I'm going to stamp that out, and I'm going to put that little heart behind it, because I like it. There we go. I'm going to use my VersaFine. I always have good results with VersaFine, so just going to do one more. And I'm not going to heat emboss this because there's already more than enough shine on there. There we go. That's perfect. Right, I'm going to cut this out using my little Tim Holtz trimmer. I like this because it's, yeah, nice and small. It fits on my desk. I've got it ready to grab. So I'm just gonna use that to cut a strip. And what I'm doing, I'm lining it up right here at the top here. That means that I get a straight cut down there. See? And then I'm just gonna line it up again. There we go. So there we have our sentiment, we have our background, and we have our butterflies. Now, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut out the front panel using the Gina K Master Layouts 2, and I'm going to pick the part that I like best. I will cut that out, and then I will be right back. There we go, cut out beautifully. I love this Master Layouts. These, they take out the measuring for me. And that's what I like, because I can't do measurements right. So that's why I like these a lot. So, and what that did, it also nicely flattened out my background, which is a bonus. So my background is done, so it's time to start to assemble the card. Now I'm going to adhere this to the black panel, and I'm going to use some glue just because that gives me some wiggle time, because I need to get this straight. So I will just use some glue to adhere the two together. You see what I mean? I can just move it around a bit until I'm happy with how it looks. I think this is pretty straight. Press that down. Then I've got my card base here. It's going to be a top folding card. And this is going to be right smack down in the center of that. And I love that little black border around. So again, I'm going to use some glue. And I'm using my art glitter glue. And I love this stuff, and people ask me why. So let me explain to you why. Because it gives me enough wiggle time, but it doesn't stay wet too long. So, sorry, I have to pick this up, but it's going to be right in the center here. And then I'm going to put on my butterflies like so. I'm just gonna see how I'm going to position them. And then this will be my sentiment right here in the middle. I'm gonna pop this one up a bit and put some glue on there. Reason for this is, if I put it down, it just sticks immediately, and now it just gives me some wiggle time. Now let me see, I'm gonna put the butterflies on there, and then I'm gonna decide where I want this one. I think I like it just smack in the middle. Yeah, like that. And then I want these, obviously, a bit on an angle. So I'm going to start with this one. And I'm just going to put some glue on the body. Because then I can still put up the wings a bit. And what I'm doing now, I'm positioning it, but I'm looking at it, that it's not coming over the edge here, but it can come over the edge of the black border. That's what I'm looking at now. And I'm just pressing it down until that glue grips a hold of the background. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Just put some glue right here and put it on. And what I like is that the antenna is overlapping the sentiment a bit. This is overlapping. That's absolutely fine for me. And then I think we have it. A beautiful card with a lot of dimension. But even if you put it in an envelope, these fold flat. So that's not an issue. But yeah, I really like how this turned out. And the experiment worked. It also works on transparent gloss. And that was the whole transparent of the whole idea. I love it. The background is nice and alive. Butterflies are beautifully shiny. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I will insert a photo here so you can see the close-up because that will give you a completely different look, but I will try to zoom in also. It's very pretty. It's very nicely detailed. So I'm happy with that. If you like it as well, please consider to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up and then I hope to see you for the next one. Thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you then. Bye!